Hello everyone, I'm here today with a video that is part of the monthly collaboration that I do called For the Love of Crafting and Sharing. It's a YouTube hop that I do with a bunch of other super crafty women, and we're all on YouTube, and we have monthly themes that we do. Our theme for October is actually dye, and I think the reason behind that was for Halloween, but it's supposed to be using dyes in any way you want. So either you're cutting your own, you're using die cuts you found that came in a kit, whatever. So this is the layout I will be working on with some dies, and this is slightly unique in that it's technically 3 pages because I have a standard 6x8, then I have a 3x8 insert and another 6x8. I can tell you right now, this bottom pocket here that's 2x3, that will have sequins in it. So I will be using sequins and my fuse tool. So you'll get to see me do that. That will be in addition to figuring out what to do with dies. I may also move this photo over here as I go, but I think I have them placed where I want them. Because this is very much a floral layout, this is from a garden that is in St. Cloud, Minnesota. I pulled out all of my various floral dies. As you can see, I have a ton. I tend to hoard these a little bit because I love going to botanical gardens, but I have way more stuff than I will ever use. But at least I have it all ready to go so I can use it on this layout. So when I was looking at the configuration for my layout, I actually decided to make a change right away. I decided to move this photo up top and then move this to the bottom just because I think it disperses the yellow a little bit better. I'm sure I will have some yellow sequins as well, but I plan to work in some of the other colors so it's not just like all yellow all the time. So I have picked out these. Some of my other ones I'm going to leave to the side. I don't think I'm going to use anything here because when I was looking through there, the colors aren't quite right and then the style of them are not quite right. So I think it'll be something from here and then maybe one of these. As you can see on the back, it shows you what each kit comes with. I have used a couple, but most of these I still have available. There certainly are some yellow options in there, but again, I don't want it to be all yellow, so I may try to work in some pink or red because I do have that in here, and that might be a nice option. When I was trying to figure out how to do the cards here, I can't have anything too flashy in the background because I want the die cuts to be the focus on the cards. I pulled these out of my stash, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut the tops off here because these are somewhat similar. They're not exact, but they're similar. They have kind of the ombre look in the stripes. I think I want to probably cut those off and then place them on a white card and then layer the flowers with the die cuts from that base. So I pulled out all of these die cuts, and I believe these are from an old Cocoa Daisy set that I had. And I'm really liking the mix here because there's a little orange, there's yellow, there's this kind of fuchsia color which matches these and pulls it out of the card. And then I'm loving these tabs. I forgot I had tabs in there too. So I can use some of those to work in the yellow and green as well. So now I don't know that I'm even gonna end up using any of these, but I do want to show you them close up just if you find them interesting so that you can find them online. They're made by Hardy Crafts. They're called 3D toppers. They actually come in 3 layers and you build them so they become a 3D. I generally use pop dots to build them, just between one layer, not both, then it gets too thick, but one layer is usually fine. But if you want to look at them, this is where you can find them. All right, for this one over on the right hand side here, I think this is about what I want to do anyway. I may move the pieces a little bit, but I think I've got it generally how I want it. I already adhered the piece of pink paper, so that's down, but I left a little room at the top without adhesive so I could slide these in like that, and then this one will be over the top, and then I will probably stamp something here. I could also journal though if I leave some room, but I think that's what I'm going to do with this one, so I'm going to glue it down before I change my mind. All right, everything is adhered there, and I'm thinking I might actually want to do some splattering, so that may be what's up next. And if I do, I most likely will use this color to bring in a little of the green, and I only want a little bit. A little goes a long way. I don't want it to cover the entire card. I just want a few little dots here and there. All right, I'm ready to do my splattering here. And I'm going to shake off a lot of this because I don't want any big globs on there if I can avoid it. And I want to tap very, very lightly. There, that might do it. Yep, I think that's enough. I don't want to overdo it, so I'll call it good. For this area on the card right here, I have decided to stamp, and I'm going to use this set here. This is an older one from, hopefully the camera shows it here. This is from Felicity Jane in 2017. So it's a few years old now, but I still like it, so I'm going to use it. And I think I want to just use this one that says lovely and put it right there because it'll fit nicely in that space. There's the card all done with the stamping, and I'm very happy with that. So I think I probably will do some stamping on this card as well, or a little bit of journaling, just so that I can have black so that it matches, because I would always journal with a black pen anyway, and I feel like I need to tie that in somehow. So I keep changing my mind on some things. When I was looking at this left side, I decided that I wanted to swap out this photo because it's awfully similar to this. This is just a kind of a macro shot. So I decided to pull that one, and I'm going to use this one instead. I love it that it's mostly green with some light purple back there, and then one lone sunflower. And it brings in the yellow nicely, but it doesn't overdo it. And then when these are sitting here, that's still plenty of yellow, especially when the page gets turned and you see these next to each other. I think I'm also going to switch the pockets here because I like the idea of these being diagonal from each other at opposite corners. And then when I have these tabs here, these die cut tabs, I don't know which one I'm going to use yet, but when I have them ready, I want to use one right here, I think, to kind of overlap this dead space in the sky. Well, then I don't want this sitting on top of this. I would rather have the die cuts more dispersed, so I think I'm going to go with this configuration instead. For this photo, when I was looking at the die cut tabs I have, I think I like this one the best. It's got very light yellow, but then it has the pink that will mimic the cards and the die cuts I've already used. So I think I'm going to take this one and use it right there. So I have the tab attached now. I just did the back on the other side of the photo. It's ready to go. I will probably write or stamp something in there as well, so I need to find a very small phrase if I stamp. But then what I have left is doing the sequins with my fuse tool and then using die cuts on the last card. The next thing I'm going to work on for the layout is the sequins in the pocket here, and this is the sequins mix that I have created. I had several different things happening. The yellow and white was one mix, the green leaves were by themselves, this kind of pink glittery spot or pieces, and then these little tubes, that was a different mix. I chose to put parts of them all together and then come up with this. So my plan is I will take as much as I need to just fill the pocket, and then I will seal it with my fuse tool. All right, I used my fuse tool, and now the pocket is closed, and I love all the lovely sequins in there. I think they look great with the photos that I have. I'm going to place these next to each other so you can see how it all looks together. I'm very happy with that. So now I think I just have to put the last card together with the other die cuts, and then maybe see if I want to do a little bit more embellishing. So these are the 3 die cuts I want to use for this last card, and I kind of want it to look somewhat opposite of this one, where it starts on the left and leads to the right. I think I want to sort of start on the right and lead to the left. So I'm thinking maybe something like this where they're layered. Yeah, probably something like that. And again, it leaves me room for something here, which will probably be journaling. Okay, I've put this mostly together, but now I'm going to just trim off the stuff that hangs over the edges. You can see here I used a test piece of cardstock that didn't work for something else. Why cut into new paper if I can use something that can be recycled? So now I have that. That will sit right there. And let's see what I think. I do feel like I need maybe something else here. I have to figure out what's going to go in there. And maybe something at the top here. I did find something to stamp in there. I chose to do Photo Love because I do love these photos. And that stamp is from an older set from a Citrus Twist, I believe. So I have that done. And then for the top of this photo, I found this in my stash. And I know I made this on the Project Life app. Just chose a pink background, did a bunch of phrases and cut it out. But I think it's applicable for what I was doing this day. It did sort of give me the recharge and it filled up my soul in the way I needed it. So I'm going to put that right there. I attached that where I wanted it to be, and then I did do some splattering on this card to match the other one so that the die cuts look somewhat similar, the splattering looks similar, and the paper is similar. So I'm happy with that. So I think this one is done. Once that's dry, I can put it in the pocket, but you can kind of see how the whole layout will work together, and I'm super pleased with it. So thanks for watching today.